afternoon. How are you, my lovely ones? You guys are so good. I've been visiting with a few of you over the last week here, and every YouTuber we get in here, man, these guys are great. They're loving. I just love you guys. You guys are really making a difference. I'm telling you, what I'm hearing out there, you guys are tearing it up and kicking butt. Now listen, some of you guys are working through some really tough health issues. Hang in there. Do not get discouraged. It takes time to work yourself back out of some of these deeper levels. When we talk about moving lymph, and I say that a lot in here, and I get this question back to me, and I know that we have so many videos out there now that it's hard to go back, but moving lymph is simple. Moving lymph, in our opinion, requires a high fruit, berry, and melon diet, high astringent diet, particularly your subacid and your acid category fruit. Oftentimes there's fasting involved, or a mono-type fruit diet to dig deeper into the human body. Astringents, the more astringent rich the food, the more powerful in digging in and moving lymph. Astringents are pulling, and lemons are one of the top astringent foods on the planet. So just moving lymph is also, we use herbs. And we use herbs to move lymph, but we also take care of what causes stagnation of lymph. Now, what causes you know, I need their 5 questions. I forgot their 5 questions. I got to get them 5 new questions. The Facebook. All right.
All right.
Tonight, 5 questions for you guys tomorrow. However, moving lymph is a kidney and adrenal gland issue. That's where the problem seems to always be, is in the kidneys and adrenal glands. It is true that in your weaker genetic areas, blood and lymph moves somewhat slower anyway. Jensen always talked about this. I concur. When you see the eyes, you see the lymph stagnation in these areas, so that causes additional problems, lymphatically speaking, from acids to breaking down those tissues. So you always see the weak areas in the body go first. Always do. That's why the iris analysis is so good, because it helps you see what's weak that you can rebuild before you say bye-bye to those tissues. Now, thank you, Bill. Appreciate that. Appreciate that audio of the class. Appreciate that very much. I'll say this. This is from a 15-year-old lovely young woman, Amanda. And I went over her mom's eyes, and so we're going to go over Amanda's eyes. So I'm going to come around there. Drew's helping me with this one, and we're going to go over your eyes, Amanda. Check this one out. Now, that is only half of the size of the mangoes from Pine Island, and I'm going down next week, and I'm going to buy bushel, not 1 or 2, bushel baskets. All right, see how we do here now. Let's do her right eye first. How's that? Coming in pretty good? Up. We good? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you know, I'm going to move this up and down. You notice a little yellowing around this collarette, they call this area that's somewhat differentiated immediately around the pupil. That's the stomach and bowel area. And if you notice, you have a lot of this fluffy white and yellow around this area here. This area is your GI tract. And this fluffiness is what we call interstitial lymphatic constipation. What that means is you're malabsorbed. You're not getting as much nutrition as you could. You don't have a large malabsorption ring perfect, so you are getting goodies in, and this hasn't saturated enough to get thick enough to block it, which is very good. The darkness that you see immediately around the pupil, I don't like that. That's the stomach area, and this is problematic. You have a weak stomach genetically, and you need to take care of that, sweetheart. Even at 15, that's a very weak stomach, prone to gastroparesis or worse, so this is something that you've got to clean up there, get the stomach up. The bowels, you have some prolapsing here. Matter of fact, your GI tract is needing to be restored, cleaned, strengthened, and rebuilt. Now, I'm seeing some ballooning, some prolapsing of the bowels, maybe some spastic bowels here. I'm looking for parathyroid, and right here is your parathyroid gland weakness. You can always assure that when you see connective tissue weaknesses, which is connective tissue holds everything together. the bladder, the heart, everything together, even vascular walls, has connective tissue. And this little black spot right here is the parathyroid gland that controls calcium utilization. This is a weakness in the thyroid and a lot of lymph stagnation, so it'd be easy for you to get a polyp in the thyroid there. This is the right lobe that I'm looking at. This is the tonsil area. These darkness says that the tonsils are not happy, if you still even have them. They're on their way out if you haven't, so you need to strengthen that if you do. All this is up in the neck area and the throat area. A lot of swelling and lymph mid-back here. A little weakness genetically mid-back. We come down here, we find a little bit of chronicness in the lower back, which is the kidneys. And then we go down here, and this is at the tailbone. A lot of lymph down at your tailbone, which is common. The lymph comes up the legs. This probably is left ovary or coccyx tailbone. Now, this right leg of yours has all this thick white stuff. This is in your right leg, meaning your lymph in your right leg isn't coming and being filtered through your kidneys, and here's your kidneys. This whole area is your kidneys. Adrenal glands are chronic. You've got a little bit of decay in that kidney there, a lot of lymph stagnation. You must, sweetheart, Amanda, focus on your kidneys. Get your kidneys and your adrenals. I just talked to a man, dialysis, you know, and we see this constantly. What the guy that just did the spray around here, one kidney.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
This is your groin. So you want to strengthen your tissue. With the groin weaknesses like this, you can herniate that real easy by pulling wrong or lifting wrong and end up getting a hernia there. So I would strengthen. Some of this is the appendix, which is not happy. Now, this real dark area right here looks like it's in the bowel. So that's near the appendix at the bottom end of the cecum. That black means there's a little decay in that bowel. We need to clean that up and rebuild that bowel there. Little uterine weakness. Now here's a little bladder weakness and no wait, I'm over here. Excuse me. This is the hip, just a little bit of the hip area here on the right side. This is the pancreatic area, and this dark area here is your right ovary. So it could have some ovarian issues in terms of low or high estrogen, progesterone. It can affect all those things. A lot of congestion in your right breast. That's something that's very, very important. There's just too many tumors, even in the young people. So this is a lot of lymph stagnation. Lymph nodes are swollen related to the breast tissue. Want to get that moving. Matter of fact, you got a lot of lymph nodes that are kind of swollen here, sweetheart. Your kind of eye, you have a blue eye here, but you notice you can't hardly see the blue. That it's all this yellowing, which is chemicals like sulfur. A little yellow for sulfur in some of these areas, but there's an orange sulfur there, so who knows? It could be another chemical. But your lymph, all this white puffy stuff, all this is all lymphatics. Lymph. You really have to work on your lymph system. Your family's got the weak kidneys, adrenals. Here again, the groin tissue. Now, if I get up into your right ear, right here, you have a right ear weakness. And this starts to move up into the mastoid, medulla, and the cerebellum. And you've got a lot of congestion back of the head up in the cerebellum. There's a little spot in the brain you got to clean up here a little bit. This is all involved around pituitary, pineal, frontal lobe of the head, right side. A lot of congestion in the sinuses. So, sweetheart, we got to clean this, clean your lymph. These rings here you see in your eyes are nerve rings, meaning that adrenal weakness here has reflexed and created myelin sheath weakness of the autonomic nervous system. And this dark line around the outside here is your skin. You were born with a weak skin, and you need to refurbish and get that skin alive, because under the skin is the subcutaneous levels. That's you have the epidermis, the dermis, and then the subcutaneous, and that subcutaneous is really lymphatically backed up. Pupils a little big for the eye, But that's central nervous system weakness coming from the brain, the optic nerve. So we need to get up here, clean the lymph out of the head area, clean up the gut. This GI tract is key. Kidneys, adrenals, and GI tract. Key to cleaning the sinuses and all this lymph system up here. Very important. Now let's look to the left side here, honey. Don't get freaked out. We're going all over your eye here because the younger people tend to have more weaknesses than the older people and deeper. Left side much better. You're much stronger genetically on the left side of the body. Looking here, the kidney here looks a lot better. Still involved though. Here's kidney here. Yeah, all the way up. The adrenals here. Now, this is groin, more groin, and this is a little, the black in an eye is a little decay, and it looks like you're having some tissue repair problems here. Here you get in, the hip's much better on this side, the ovary's better, but there is a little weakness in the ovary on the left side here. This is all thick lymph, and this also occupies the left breast area. There is some weaknesses in the left breast genetically, and the lymph isn't flowing good like we'd like. Some lymph node swelling in the lungs or some lymph building up there. Just need to clean that out. This is a little shoulder here on the left side, left ear a little bit, and then we start moving up into the mastoid and into the cerebellum, which isn't too bad on this side. These spots are in the brain, need to get up there, clean these up, get the sinuses. Your sinuses are thick right here. Need to clean all that out, sweetheart. Frontal lobe again up here, a little weakness up here in the forehead area. Stronger on the left side though. This is the throat area, so you're going to have a sore throat when you detoxify. Don't freak out. That's a good thing. Your body will clean this and then start healing it up. So expect that coming. Don't freak out again. There's more parathyroid evidence right here. And you're showing that. You're showing that in your skeletal system. You're showing that your family has had weak kidney and adrenals. You haven't been filtering your lymph systems, and then you've been losing calcium and bone structure. And with the parathyroid, you haven't been able to rebuild it. So that now you have to go back and rebuild it. It also counts for some prolapsing, and this is the splenic flexure over here under the left breast, and that's prolapsed down a little bit. Still, that dark stomach area, I do not like that dark stomach area. A lot of mucus in the stomach, so you need to see a lot of mucus in your bowels. Here we got a little mid-back going on here, and then, of course, here's your lower back kidneys. Okay, good. So I hope that's helpful, Amanda. Thank you, do appreciate that very much. I generally have to go like this, you know, and so I'm glad you're here to help me.
Hey, no problem.
Thanks, man.
That's what we're here for.
Thank you.
What are you eating? Lychees over here?
Huh?
No, they're not lychees. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
Rainiers.
Nice.
Are you kidding? These are Rainiers. They're my favorite. I like the dark cherry. I don't think there's any fruit I don't like, but I certainly love the Rainiers.
Like
and
lychee.
this, look how
you
big.
Like the lychee, though,
but you remember the one the lychee.
Yeah.
Well, we had the lychee the other day in here. That was really good. There's a Vietnamese lady in Pine Island that sells lychee. It's like, oh, good.
What do you think about Ponderosa lemons? Those big ones.
I have a Ponderosa lemon
It's
tree.
almost the size of that mango.
Oh yeah, I have a Ponderosa lemon tree in my yard.
Do you?
Oh
Wow.
yeah.
Nice.
I got a variegated lemon tree, which is like pink lemonade.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
enjoy.
Thank you. Well, I hope that's helpful, Amanda. You've got eyes that you need to focus on your health issues, and a young woman you are. And I like the fact that you're listening to Mom. I like the fact that your mom is into this. Mom, young daughter needs to get her lymph moving. So you can see that big time in the eye. So I hope that helps you. Want to get that parathyroid up, strengthen that skeletal system, move those lymphs. Moving those lymphs, what do I mean? Move those lymphs. Fruits, berries, melons. Use lymphatic herbs. Use kidney and adrenal. Always remember, lymphs includes kidney and adrenal. The lymphatic system includes the kidneys and the adrenal glands. Never forget those. And always have that part of your program when you're making a program for yourself. You always want to hit the basic. I call them the Fab 4, Fab 5. 1, kidneys. Always use a kidney formula. 2, always pop up your adrenal glands. 3, always go after your GI tract. Clean it up, rebuild it. 4, always go after the endocrine glands. That's the adrenals. They control the kidneys, but the endocrine glands control everything. And nowadays we're using more brain and nerve formulas because the nervous system's like in Amanda here. We got nerve rings in there, not a lot of them, which is good for her age, which is good. But a lot of the young ones have tons of these nerve rings, and they're just really neurologically compromised. And so I use brain and nerve formulas nowadays on all the cases just because the nervous system controls everything. And now the research out of Canada shows, remember, type 1 diabetes, a lot of them are neurological type 1s. That just answered all the questions I needed for that. So let me go in and answer some questions here. I really appreciate all your questions. Apologize if we don't get to them. Remember, if something's vital, you're in a stat or an emergency need, you call. You call in here and let us help you. This is from Vertical Sleep. I've been there, let me tell you. I sleep, and sometimes I'll wake up out of meditation and it's like 5 hours later. You're like, where have I been? Since avocados are a fruit, do they really detox you hard, or does the fat slow down detox? You're right on. You're spot on. What level of detox would you put non-sweet fruits like avocados, tomatoes, squash, and peppers? At the bottom. And detox. In detox, I put them at the bottom. Because just what you said, too many oils and things like that, too many amino acids, all those slow down detox. Things that are not as astringent. That's why your sweet fruits aren't as near of detoxifying as your sub or your acid fruits. But then the sweet fruits really focus more on the meat of the fruit. I told you about this 3 doctorate professor in Canada that invited me to speak one time, and we had a small window of conversation. And he had, like I said, 3 doctorate degrees, a professor, and the banana, the blueberry, and the potato was his life study. And he thought the banana in all his study was nature's perfect food. And I have to concur. I think it is. But with that said, I'll eat a bowl of Rainier cherries and mangoes way over, but I like to mix them with bananas. I like to cut me up a bowl of mangoes. I'll put some cherries in it, and I love the bananas in a bowl of fruit. Oftentimes I'll throw in the grapes and some apples. And I love bowls of fruit. I just love to eat. I could eat bowls of fruit off and on all day long. I just love it. Had to throw another bad watermelon away again today. $8 down the drain. This is to friend Marcia Troyer. Let's see here. Not sure if you remember me, Marcia. I spent a week with you at the end of March. Yep. My last day there was a talk about the positivity of my husband. Oh, yeah, this is about a job. Okay, thank you. This is deep obstruct, I guess. Anyway, thank you for tuning into the channel there, my friend. I'm currently working with a friend who has cystic fibrosis. Yeah, cystic fibrosis, love that one. That's a booger bear, and I have probably 3-4 cases currently running. I can just tell you, I got the bad, the very bad, and then the very, very bad. So nothing ever good comes of this. Whenever you have acid retention, the probability of lesions and scar tissue and stuff like that is obvious. You can see this in some cases where women have such bad endometriosis that these acids actually weld the uterus to the bowel wall. A lot of times in a hysterectomy, the surgeon has to cut the uterus off the bowel wall. So that's that power of acids. Same type of thing. We're talking about lungs here, cystic fibrosis, and it's just that. Scar tissue and cysts, and you just have to clean out those lungs. Acids, acids, acids. It isn't the blood that's the problem, right? Nope, it's the lymph. So I would take off after that lymph. Always go after that lymph. Kidneys, adrenals, lymph. And I like a lymph capsule and I like a lymph liquid. That way we're getting into the bowels and pulling and breaking that up, and then we're using the liquid to get into the body and move the lymph that way, even better that way. The adrenals always have to be considered in kidney filtration problems, so the adrenals always need to be brought up. GI tract, always work on your gut. Clean up those bowels, GI broom, stomach and bowel, lymphatic 1 or capsules. Now I'll say this, lungs number 2, you can also inhale and drink 3-lung tea. But you're going to have to get it, and with cystic fibrosis, you eat nothing cooked. Nothing. Absolutely no protein, anything like that. Absolutely no dairy products. But you want to stay high fruit and berry and melon diet, your friend that you're working on, and I hope they're in better shape than a lot of cystic fibrosis cases I've worked with, and really get in there and clean this out quick. Get those kidneys filtering and moving those lymphs. He's making changes in his diet and eliminating mucus-forming foods and adding in more raw foods and juices. Well, if your friend is listening to this video, he probably or she probably understands the gravity of cystic fibrosis, and I wouldn't wait 1 minute. I'd head off into that raw food regimen, and particularly on the fruitarian side. You want to move those lymphs yesterday instead of tomorrow. On the road of detoxification, though, we run into an issue of detoxifying become too strong to the point where the medicines that actually help him breathe are being eliminated and are causing him more breathing problems. Well, here's the thing. You want to hit the adrenal glands with a glandular. This is another case where glandulars save lives. You get in there, you pump up those adrenal glands, which will pump up epinephrine and norepinephrine. This will increase the sympathetic nervous system response to breathing. Want to do that. Now, very important here that that you get the antispasmodic. The antispasmodic, it wouldn't hurt to use brain and nerve number 2 with that, just to strengthen that nervous system. At the same time, use the antispasmodic as an inhaler because it relaxes the nervous system and allows for breathing, but does not block expectoration. And that's really key here. You have to be careful not using inhalers or anything like that, or using them very minutely, because what are they well known for? Lung cancer, because they suppress lymph expectoration. Better off to get Mucinex if you had to do pharmaceuticals and start expectoration. Even though you don't realize it, this is in the wall of the lungs. This is not in the chamber, and this is where all the acids, the cells, and everything else are. This is all about lymph. This is all about acids and what acids do to tissue. And this is cystic fibrosis, just another one of those cases that have a deeper issue that can happen with acidosis. There's just that way. And I got that medical doctor that doesn't believe in acidosis. The guy needs to pack up and become a farmer or something like that, and then he'll learn about acids being a farmer. He can learn that. These medical doctors, they're almost infuriating when they make statements now to me. They make these bizarre statements with no chemistry backgrounds. It would be ideal to eventually take no medications. Well, I'll say this. Always important, whatever meds you're on for breathing and stuff, okay, make sure they're not suppressive, they're expectorative. At the same time, getting these acids out are by far should be on the top of the list. On the top of the list. That's all I can tell you. Whatever you do, you can use herbal antispasmodics to breathe. There's so many techniques. Remember the pulsing, hit the adrenals. Now, this is Denise. Denise. The name of my second wife is Denise. Did I say second? I've been watching your videos and I have a couple of questions. You keep saying move your lymph. Well, that's what I was just addressing that. You're the one I was thinking about there. Also, I started eating a lot of watermelon. However, I would wake up with puffy face and eyes. Is this because of the sugar content? Yes. Did I just lie? Yes. It's not about sugar. Not at all. This is worse. No. If you're getting puffy eyes from eating high water content foods, what do you think's the problem? Exactly, edema. Well, what kind of state would you be in to hold that kind of water and to get those puffy eyes? Oh, you guys are tearing it up. I am dead serious when I tell you how proud I am of each and every one of you. I am so serious. I think we're on a very serious mission here together. I appreciate your help in every way. So does a lot of other, beings. So we really appreciate everything, and all you're all just absorbing into God. Your spirituality's blossoming. Some of you are struggling to get well, and I just want you to know we're all on your side. We all love you. Hang in there and keep working your lymph. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. No, dear, this is about kidneys and adrenal glands, sweetheart. You got to work on those, because no way does, but you're retaining water, and that's kidney and adrenals / lymphatics. Thanks, GR8, ADELIN. Adeline, thank you so much. I have a question, maybe you can help me. I have hepatitis B, and I want to know what is the best way to go for me. Detox, 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 right away. Get the kidneys, get the adrenals, get those cleaned up, moving lymph, clean up the bowels, use the liver formulas, of course, clean out the liver. These are viral loads, okay, clean them out, easy to clean out. Strengthen the liver, because virals have nowhere to go if there's no weak cells. They hang around until they're detoxed out of the body. So you'll be fine. Hep B is easy, and just get your, go. But this is also a clue that you're interstitially lymphatically involved here, meaning that your lymph system isn't moving well through your kidneys, and you want to deal with that. Get this lymph draining. It'll pull out of the liver just like it pulls out of the kidneys itself, the ovaries, the uterus, whatever, lungs, same thing. So as that pulls out, all this inflammation, this hepatitis, not the viral loads, the hepatitis, the inflammation in the liver, can go down. Is your liver enzymes elevated or anything like that? That'll tell you how much of the liver's involved if you look at your liver enzymes in the blood work. Look at alkaline phosphatase too, even though that can represent bones and kidneys as well, but they always put them right with the liver enzymes, the STs and the AGTs, all those. Look at those two and let me know. But if you have elevated liver enzymes, and you don't want liver enzymes above, say, 17, 18, maybe they get in the 20s sometimes, but never want to go above the 20s. This is King Lady the 13th. The King Lady. Obey. Who doesn't? Oh, thanks. I hope you like some of these stories. I appreciate your thought. Some of them, I don't know. I got them a mile long. But, I've said this before. It's because of all of you and through all my 40 years that I've learned everything I know. You don't learn this in school. Your best education is just what you guys are getting on Facebook and the other sites where you guys are helping others and working with others. You'll never get that kind of training anywhere. That's why I say it's easy to understand detox and how to get people well. So easy it's almost should be embarrassing to the allopaths. Easy, but there are those of you that it's not so easy of a road. It's easy to understand. It's easy sometimes to do if your discipline is in the right places, but it can be a long road. It can be full of healing crises and ups and downs, no question, but at the end there is remedy. And you guys that are struggling to get your health back, you just hang in there. You keep digging into that lymph, and digging into that lymph is doing more fruit and more monotype fruit like lemons or grapes. Maybe extended fast on lemons and things, and start pulling on that lymph better. That's what pulls on lymph. You'll see the difference. Just do this. Go on a 3-day grape fast. Then go on a 3-day lemon juice fast. And then go on a 3-day water fast. That will give, if you want to even know more, go on a 3-day vegetable juice fast. Go on a 3-day grape fast. Go on a 3-day lemon juice fast, and then go on a 3-day water fast, and you'll be able to see the difference of which moves lymph the best, and then let me know. because I already know. But you go ahead and try those things. It's good for you anyway. Just try 3 days of juicing. Juice all the vegetable matter. If you want to have a salad, go ahead. Just try 3 days of vegetables. Then go to 3 days of grapes. And then go to 3 days of lemons. Lemon, like the Stanley Burrows. And then go 3 days of pure water. And don't forget, when you break that, you break it with the fruit. Go reverse. Break it with the fruit. And then go down that way. And then you add your vegetables in maybe 2 days, 3 days down the road. And you'll see what really is powerful there at moving lymph. You really have a first-hand experience. And that's what I love about you guys, in that you're tearing it up and you guys are having some good experiences. Remember balance. That's what we have to always teach and always have to remember in ourselves, is to maintain a sense of balance. Once you lose that, then the ego comes in. You lose integrity. Everything starts to fall apart. So keep balanced if you can. Tough world. Right now the world is caving in. You see it. And those people that are not strong are caving in with it. You guys are strong. Stay strong. We're protected. And just keep surrendering to God. Keep God absorption. An old Sufi name. But God absorption. And I love that. That's how you become the most of who you are, is by simply relaxing and absorbing into the Godhead. And there's no images to help you do that. There's no picture of God. There's no man in a white beard. There's none of that whatsoever. Just relax and give. Giving is a form of surrender, believe it or not. And that is always great. That's why healers are very fortunate, because they're always giving. And this, when you give, is when you get. So just keep that in mind. My husband and I really, thanks. Enjoy your style. You like my style of teaching? I tell you, I taught for most of my life. I mean, I've taught classes in both the spiritual side and the health side, so I never know. I live in the moment. I just mostly, if I have a few minutes, I'll just thumb through these, but I live in the moment, and that keeps you happier, and that just keeps you free, and of course making your next experience beyond this planet far higher and better. The higher you can get to the Godhead in this lifetime, the better that will serve you, especially when it's time to leave the human body behind. Something from everything you say. We often tell others how... thanks. Thank you, King Colleen. 13. That's my favorite number, by the way. I was born on the 13th. April 13th. And yes, that makes me an Aries. I think I have a Pisces moon. It tempers that sun. All right, this is Sarah. Hi, Doc. My aunt wants to get a SPECT scan. That is a nuclear medicine procedure. Yeah, that's where I got these. I noticed my eyesight failing in nuclear medicine. It's like I needed the money. So it's like, oh, crap. It requires the injection of a very small... I know exactly. I know. Yeah, I know. What do you think of that? I don't, Sarah, honey, I don't like any of that. I think your far better test is a good iridologist that knows their crap and will take a look at her pictures, and they can see all the lesions, where all the problems are, because what are they going to do about it? What are they going to do about what they see? Let's say you had a brain tumor. They could go in and cut it out, I agree. But it's time that we have less toxic procedures. But I'll say this, if you have to go through this, then you really detox afterwards. You really detoxify yourself, or your mother, or your aunt, detoxify your body afterwards. Same thing, high fruit, high berries, high melons. Matter of fact, this is a case where you could use a lot of green drinks, a lot of parsley, dandelion greens. This would be a case where the greens would come in very powerful for you, and that's what I would do, is juice a lot of the greens. Alfalfa is a good green to juice, good toxin puller, all of this sort of thing, good for radiation. Kelp, excellent for the thyroid, iodine, so I'd supplement kelp before and after, and just kind of clean this out. But the iridology is by far, to me, the best way you're going to look anywhere with that. Greetings from Ireland. Is this Margie? No, this is Mark. Mark, do you know Margie? Good friend of mine, practitioner from Ireland. She comes over every once in a while and sits. She's got a hubby, what's his... sorry. Greetings from Ireland. I've always been fit and active and interested in bodybuilding. Cool beans. I used to take various protein powders and supplements. Common. I mean, that's just life on the planet. In order to build muscle, I've now abandoned the protein myth, thank you, sir, and switched to a high raw fruit and vegetable diet. I've become very interested in vegan body. You know, you guys out there doing that, yeah, this is a good time to really build up on the greens. I wish that when I had my focus in bodybuilding, I was only like 18, and I was doing the wielders and stuff and the proteins. I wish I'd known better. But I didn't either. You know, I didn't at that time. I'm planning on taking the Superfood Blend. Now the Super Blend 2 for bodybuilding is par excellente. I mean, it is just, we have a lot of performers use it. We have a lot of, everybody loves it. Matter of fact, SPCN? Yeah, I watch that once in a while when I flip through, but I don't watch it much. They were going through some kind of cancer thing, and this man was yelling on ESPCN, something like that, and he was saying that they killed my wife. He was so mad at the medical doctors. They killed my wife. He says, but I take this, and he picked up my God's Blend. God's Garden Superfood Blend. He said, if you take this, you won't die from cancer. Oh, that's pretty good on SPCN. Feel sorry for him about his woman, though. As a juice shake before and immediately after exercise and weight, all perfect. And one in the morning, too. Can I expect to see significant muscle increase with this? Yeah, you can go on. I mean, you don't get more nutrition than that, man. Mark, there's the nano levels and the sub-nano levels. There's everything in those things we don't even know. So yeah, Power Blend, Power Pumper, anything like that. Use an extra alfalfa or kelp if you have to power up with the muscles. Alfalfa known to put on muscles on my horses. So yeah, definitely. So listen, you guys, I got to run. I got a 4 o'clock. I'm sorry. But I just love spending time with you. I don't spend enough time with you, but I will. I've cut myself down to 3 days so I can have more time with you and get some books maybe out and get some stuff out. I hope to see a lot of you in September. We're going to have a good class here. Matter of fact, I'm going back to a Ramada Inn that I was using years and years ago that became almost like a condo place and then came back to Ramada Inn. But it's got a huge pool, tiki bar, and it's right on the water with boats and boat docks and everything else. A lot of fun, a lot of ambiance, a lot of good stuff there. So I hope to see you all later, and I will be back to film tomorrow. Thank you so much. I love you all. Remember, keep your heart open, give your love shining on everything. You don't have to like everything, but you have to have divine love for everything. You have to see everything as God. You don't have to like what's going on. This is a physical world. A lot of things going on. It's not, not what we would call perfect, but we can't see the chess game down the road where the Creator does. So it's hard for me to judge sometimes. I get upset because I'm living in the moment, but at the same time, I know that the chess game is being played amongst a lot of players that maybe you guys will meet. So thank you so much. We love you. Take care of yourselves. Have a fun night.